Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. I understand it has been quite a while, and I am sorry for that. Hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things and actually start doing my videos at a regular schedule again. It's been a busy time. Anyway, as always, I go out to thrift stores, estate sales, wherever, and I find things that I find interesting, and then I bring them home, try and find out as much as I can about them, and then tell you guys about them. And I've got something that's pretty interesting for you today. This is actually a three-part piece, so we'll see if we can fit it all on screen. We have this enormous glass pitcher. I'll just lay it down here so you can see it. And then we have these glasses and this one. So this is an entire set, okay? It is it's enormous, by the way, and this is incredibly heavy. The pitcher is in perfect condition. It has almost no wear even on the base. And then of the glasses that we have, this one has quite the chip here on the rim. And then this one has a very tiny flea bite, a bit of a crack right there. Otherwise in pretty good shape, all things considered. Now, the important thing to know about these is that they're almost 100 years old. But anyway, first thing we'll do, we'll measure everything up, as we always do. So, gonna have to pull the measuring tape out quite a bit for this one. In a second now. Pitcher is 9¼ inches tall. I'm trying to measure here and it's not even staying in the camera. About 9¼ inches across, remarkably square. That's from the handle, and then not including the handle and spout, it is 6 inches across. So I'm gonna have to be careful with that. Lay it down. There we go. Now, then each cup, tumbler, whatever you'd like to call it, is 3½ inches across and just shy of 5½ inches tall. There we go. Now, these are, okay, for a start, these are incredibly important glasses. I actually bought the entire set for $40. And I really bought them because I looked at them and immediately knew what the pattern was. It's Indiana pyramid glass, and I had never seen this before. I have literally never seen this pattern in clear glass. I didn't even know it existed, or I thought maybe it had never been, like, it is, it's like a unicorn. You literally walk into a store, you see a unicorn, you're like, well, that's interesting. And that is effectively what I found here for $40. It is a Depression era unicorn. So we'll put these up here out of the way, and we're hopefully not going to let them get any more damage considering they're almost 100 years old. Same for this giant glass pitcher. I think if I just leave it over there, it'll be okay. Now, first reference we always go to is this book, Century of Indiana Glass by Craig Shinning. Very useful to have. Again, it's out of date, but it's not like, for the prices, but that's not important. I really have this for like the pattern information. And what we do have right here is pyramid number 610. Now, the interesting points on this, right, is that it was manufactured as an entertainment set with 13 pieces. Plates, cups, saucers were never produced. It was intended for entertaining. For fun. It's like to impress kind of thing. It was produced from 1926 to 1932, manufactured in crystal, green, pink, and yellow. 4-part relish, the berry bowls and the tumbler were reissued through Tiara exclusives. 4-part relish was reissued in both blue and black colours. And that's interesting, okay? First of all, it means that the actual pictures themselves, they were never reproduced. Like, the relish, the berry bowls, the tumbler were reissued, and I have seen those in those colours. They're valued at $25 each. The large and small berry bowls and the 8-ounce tumbler were reissued only in black, blah, blah. And they're valued, the value there is pretty iffy. Like, the thing is that, as far as I know, these were never reissued. And the fact that these were found with the picture, and the picture definitely was never reissued, suggests that these are all original. And I'm pretty sure that they are. Like, they're from the original run, 1926 to 1932. Like, smack bang and like at the kind of the start of the Depression era, like the really when things were kind of starting to get going. Pyramid is definitely considered one of those really classic patterns, and it's got Art Deco vibes out the ass. If you well, if you'll excuse my language, it is very very Art Deco. It is very kind of large geometry. You know, it really is beautiful. It is probably one of the most unusual patterns you're going to see of Depression glass in general. Now, the really cool thing about this is if you actually take a look at the price list here, and bearing in mind this book is, hold on, I'll just check the date again. No, there's 2005. Okay, so this book was printed in 2005. Okay, and bear in mind that like the market from Depression glass has definitely softened a bit lately, but like the picture in crystal is $427 here, which gives you an idea of just like how rare it really is. Even back then, like crystal or clear glass for Depression era is almost always worthless. This is not. This is like, oh, this is unusual. Now, the interesting thing about I got is that I really could not believe my eyes when I picked it up. I honestly couldn't. I was like, that is absolutely Indiana Pyramid. And it is the last thing I expected to see, because I never thought I would ever see it in. If I'd see it, it would be pink or green. They're the more common colours. And getting it in clear was unreal. I'm like, what is it doing here in a random thrift shop? But apparently it'd been there for about 6 months. Crazy but true. Anyway, so yes, we know that this is probably an original. Well, what's it? What else can we say about it? What is it worth? So let's jump over to like the interwebs for a second. First of all, here is the entry on replacements.com. You can see that it's discontinued. They actually only produced 1926 to 1932. Like, as far as I can tell, this even clear, I don't think this was reproduced by Tiara exclusive. So make it that what you will. Yeah. Now, the other interesting thing about it is that there's almost no photos. This is a pattern which is so unusual that basically almost no pieces have even shown up on replacements.com. They're usually pretty good for photos. Like, they list all the pieces. There's no image available if they've never had it, but yeah, a 4-part relish dish with centre handle. You see this quite a bit. And then the pickle dish, which I think is the only place I've seen that even. Now, oh, no, hold on. If I go just to looking at entries for the Indiana Pyramid glass picture, you can see the only things we see here is green and pink. And, well, no, here we go. There's one in yellow. Like, I had to scan through quite a bit of Google and do a lot of different searches and realize that I could not find a single photo anywhere of the pyramid picture in clear glass. I could barely find any pictures at all of just any pieces of the pattern in clear. Like, it just, this is how rare it was. As far as I can tell, it was the rarest pattern. It is the rarest color of the whole pattern. Like, it is a true unicorn. Lovely to see, and I'm really glad that I got it. It's so cool if you're a collector to suddenly see something that you know is just like, you will never ever see this again, and I'm pretty sure I will never see this again. Anyway, let's take a look. What is it actually worth? Always the important question. Remember, I paid $40 for this. So if we go over to eBay and take a look at the sold listings for Indiana Glass Pyramid, what you can see is that there's not really a whole lot. And you can see that even here, there's the clear picture and sold for less than $10. Now, the thing is that there's no pictures, as in like pictures as in this. There's an ice bucket which apparently sold for, over 100. Well, it said best offer accepted, but it's listed for 136. A set of 4 reissued tumblers sold over 100. $30 just for the Depression blue. I'm not sure if that's Depression. That actually might be a reissue. The relish dish in pink, and that's best offer accepted as well. Now, if we actually take off sold items and start looking around again, do we see anything? No. The prices, as expected, are all over the place, but there are no pictures. They don't seem to come up. If we just even check picture, we got anything? no exact matches found. We have no Indiana glass pictures. I'll just open up the search as much as I can. Any pictures? No. No, we got nothing. Now, that made this quite difficult to actually price this or work out what it's worth, because essentially you have no sold comparable items to reference, okay? That makes everything kind of tricky. And bear in mind, I have the pitcher and 3 of the goblets. Now, in fairness, only 1 of the goblets is in perfect condition. The 2 of them have some damage. Again, they're over 100 years old. What are you going to do? It depends on whether someone's actually going to use this. I don't actually know if even if someone would, considering it is so rare, they may want to just put it on a shelf. I don't know. Like, yeah. So I don't entirely know what this should be priced at. I would say consider its rarity probably a couple of $100s, even with damage, because someone who is a serious collector, I'm not sure they'd ever see this again. It just, like, yeah. Again, there's not even any photos of this online. I will be putting some photos up on my website, and I'll put an entry up for it as well, you know, in my archive. And I get the feeling that I'm going to have to take very good photos because there's not going to be any other reference for it. You know, it's just not going to exist. It'll just be the photos that I take. So I've got to do a good job there. Anyway, yeah, hopefully I'm back now. This is my, well, I mean, it's big, but you know what I mean. This is my small joyful thing for the day. I hope you guys like it as well. If you're interested in the stuff that I sell at my Etsy shop, you can take a look at the description. I also have my website there if you want to see other things that I've found. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.